Alrighty, it's been a while and I am excited to get back out here and spray. I'm also excited to show you this. Those of you that have been following me for a while, you know I got the Spray Buddy line that's come out. And let me get down here so you see who you're looking at. And everywhere from 5, 10, 15, 20 gallon, 30 gallon model to fit all different needs for homeowners. And this is the 50 gallon model. It's just about to release, I think March 13th, I believe, or it's either March 13th or March 16th, one of the two, that I will be getting 9 pumps in. That's all they had on hand. And then shortly thereafter, I'll get a better supply of that. But I've got everything on hand or in hand in order to start getting these out there. Except the pump, and that'll be March the 13th or 16th, one of the two. I'll post in my private Facebook group first, give them first shot at it when I have hands-on, and then I'll probably send it out on my email list. So if you're in the Facebook group interested, you'll get first shot. If you want to be on my email list so that you get second shot at it, by all means get on the email list. It's in the description below. This is the 50 gallon unit, 300 foot hose, half inch, 7 gallon a minute pump, 100 psi, 50 gallon tank, built-in agitation, so you don't have to stir and mix or anything like that. I'm going to show you all that here in a minute. As of right now, it's only going to come in a 110 standard wall outlet plug-in. I don't have a plug-in out here, so I've got a 25 foot drop cord running inside, and we're going to spray the rye out here today. And I got 300 foot hose, so it's more than enough to reach. Now, is this the ideal setup for my 6,500, 7,000 square foot of rye? Absolutely not. It's nice overkill, but I wanted to show it to you, okay? I just wanted you to see it, so that's why I'm using this sprayer versus using a 10 gallon version. So if you're new to the channel, I'm Pete, GCI Turf in North Carolina. I've been treating, maintaining, spraying, growing, looking at beautiful turf for 20 years now. And I'm on YouTube for the purpose of showing homeowners how to do things in a professional way, using professional products, basically how we do our job day in and day out, teaching the homeowner how to do that. And here recently, I've made equipment, professional grade equipment, I might add, made in the United States of America, available to homeowners anywhere across the country. So you get to enjoy all the benefits of high volume spraying using a commercial grade, American built. I love saying that. My goodness, I absolutely love saying made in America. So you even got it stamped right here on the hose, made in the USA. So you get to enjoy all the benefits of what comes along with having a commercial grade sprayer. Literally the last sprayer you ever buy in your life. You'll never spend another dime on a sprayer ever again. Yeah, you might wear the pump out. It depends on how much you spray, but you can replace the pump and keep getting it. And this is my passion. Like I said, I've been doing it for 20 years. If you need my resume, I've got 2 of them that you are more than welcome to take a look at. These hands have done quite a bit when it comes to spraying turf, growing turf, mowing turf, all of that kind of thing. And there's my resume right there. So a little bit different style pressure regulator that's going to be on this. You don't have a PSI gauge. You actually have a dial indicator with numbers on it. So I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to close this all the way down to 0 so I get full flow to the agitation. I'm going to go in with my pre-emergent first. I've already pre-measured out all of this stuff, so everything's accurate. And you notice I'm not stirring it or not drill bitting the mixer thinger, majiggy or whatever. I'm just dumping it in here and letting the machine, letting the equipment do the mixing for me. Oh, and if you notice, that's a liquid form of prodiamine. That's what we use here. I got these in 2.5 gallon jugs. For those of you that have really big yards, that really saves you a lot of money. Medium-sized yards, I got the wettable powder. And we don't have any of the small ones right now, waiting for those to be back in stock. Hey, if you're running the powder here, you don't have to pre-dilute it, okay? You don't have to dilute it in water and then pour it in. You just measure it out and dump it in here slowly. You don't want to just dump the whole thing in. Just shake it out, kind of like you would put a little salt and pepper on a burger or something. Just shake it out. It'll dissolve easily, get into solution with the agitation that is built in. That's one of the most amazing things about this. So I'm out here getting ready to wake up my ryegrass because it looks really, really bad. Here's the GCI 2000. Like I said, I've already done all my math. Everything I'm putting in the tank right here is pre-measured and accurate. There's the 2000. Here's the 0020. You go straight in with that. And then here is my GCI calcium. Go straight in with that, like that right there. I'm gonna let that blend and mix for 30 seconds. Let it really get good and stirred up real good. While that's mixing, I'm gonna get my pH meter. I've got my pH meter and I'm gonna check this pH. And I want it at 5 or slightly below, and that has nothing to do with my mixture. It has to do with my adjuvant, the O2YS I'm getting ready to add. Adjusting the pH down to 5 or slightly below is what activates that material and makes it do what it does. So I am just a touch high. So I'm adding a little bit of citric acid right here just to drop it down just a little bit. That should be good. I'll let that mix for about 15-20 seconds and then check it again. And checking it again, I'm right about 4.8, so I'm good to go. And go right in with my adjuvant last. I'm gonna rinse out my jugs right quick while that's mixing. Oh, I forgot about this. You wanna add just a touch of defoamer to it. You can see that's not a whole lot. So that when I'm getting down there to the bottom of the tank, this agitation is pretty aggressive and I don't want it to be causing foam and sucking foam. So I do put a little bit of defoamer in with any of my Spray Buddy models. The agitation is very strong on all of them. So I went ahead and put all my mixing cups up and got all that out of the way. I'm gonna undo my gun, open the valve on the end of the spray hose, direct it back into the tank, and you can see right there that's clear water, okay? What I'm trying to do is get my material that's in the tank throughout the hose so that it's at the end of the spray gun ready to spray when I get out there. I'm gonna crank up my pressure just a little bit to about number 5 or 6 roughly. Way to speed things up a little bit. And you can see it right there change colors. Got a nice yellowy tint to it. So I know that that's ready to spray. Close off my valve. Stainless steel quick disconnects. Go and pop my gun back on. And you can see this particular reel is a little bit different than the other hose reel models. You can see right here it locks. So it's got a pin over here you let out so that you can unwind it. And the way I prefer to spray, I'll spray with my right hand. So I'll take my left hand, grab the hose, go around my neck, turn around, go under my armpit. That way my armpit and my shoulder are doing 99.9% of pulling the hose. Never, under any circumstance, do I pull the hose in the yard by the gun, because this would be considered the weak point in the entire system, and you don't want to break this or cause any leaks or anything like that. So go around my neck, under my left armpit, lock it in, or I can hold it with this arm right here. And look, this is free, and I'm doing all my control or manipulating the hose with my left hand while I'm pulling out. So what I'm gonna do is pull right here, just pull it out just a little bit, get me a little bit started, and then I'm gonna take off. So you saw how long the mixing process takes, which is not long at all. And now I'm just gonna set you over there in the corner, and we're gonna spray this 7,000 square feet, and you can time it and see how long it takes. I'm not gonna edit or cut it or anything. Oh yeah. Now I am spraying at 3 gallons per 1,000 right here. Okay. The reason I'm doing that is because I've just got a 50-gallon tank, and I got that option. You don't have to spray at 3 gallons per 1,000. One gallon per 1,000 is pretty much the old standard. I personally prefer 2 gallon per 1,000. I think that's the ideal way to spray turf. Of course, a lot of people would disagree with me on that, and that's okay. I'm good with that. And I haven't calibrated this. I know I'm a bad boy for not doing that. So I'm gonna keep an eye on my tank as I'm spraying. The goal is to get done over there in the corner where you're at and run out of material at the same time. And you can probably hear me huffing and puffing because I'm out of shape. Like I said, this is the latest release. Well, I can't say that because it's in the release. I'll have the release March 16th-ish. And shortly thereafter that, the Spray Buddy Mobile, which I got a different name for it, but I'm not gonna tell you what that is yet because I think it's a cool name and I don't want to spoil the surprise. But I'm just going down through here waving my spray gun back and forth, back and forth. I'm covering roughly 8 foot each pass. When I get over here to my edges, really soaking those down good, because you know that's where most of your issues are going to happen throughout the year for the most part. Now, there's no broadleaf weeds out here, no grassy weeds out here. If there were, then I could have also added my post-emergent into this mix, and I could have prevented weeds, fed the turf, gave it some calcium, gave it some potassium, and all at the same time killed any broadleaf weeds or grassy weeds that are out here. Of course, like I said, I don't have any out here, so there's no point in putting any post-emergent herbicide in the tank. And judging by what's left in the tank, I'm going to have to make one more quick pass to run out just a touch in the bottom. That's what happens when you don't calibrate. I should have calibrated this before I did this, but I just didn't have time. All right, done. So time stamp it. Look at the bottom. See when I started and see when I finished. That's about how long. Well, shoot, I got a stinking phone in my pocket. I should have timed it, but I didn't. So let me go over and turn the pump off. I'll be right back. So I wasn't off too awful bad. There's only about that much in the bottom of the tank. So I will go back and just kind of do a quick walk and knock that out. But I just wanted you to see how long it took to spray 7,000 square feet, mixing and everything, super efficient. I'll finish up the video and roll up the hose, show you how to neatly and correctly roll up the hose on the hose reel. The rye looks really, really bad. It looks pathetic in my opinion, because I planted it back in September and it hadn't had a drop of fertilizer since then. And right now it's the 1st of March, end of February, 1st of March. So September, October, November, January, February, March. It ain't had any food in almost 7 months, 6 to 7 months. So it looks really, really bad. So this nitrogen and mix I made is gonna perk it up, get it to grow a little bit so I can mow and put some, you know, stripes out here and all that kind of thing for the spring. And then of course we'll spray out the rye and kill it when the Bermuda's time to wake up. But the star of the show was the 50-gallon cart buddy. I almost call it spray buddy. The star of the show was the 50-gallon cart buddy. And like I said, March 13th, March 16th-ish, it will be available. And I'll make it available to my private Facebook group first, both the warm season and cool season group. And I'll leave it in there for a day or so before I shoot out the email to let those guys do what they want to do with it first. Like I said, I'm only getting 9 pumps, but shortly after I'll be getting more, and then they'll be available. But heck of a unit, big time, 50 gallons. If you got 25,000 square foot yard, you got 300 foot of hose, which is more than enough hose to reach that size yard. And you can spray it 2 gallons per 1,000. It will not be an option to get 3/8 hose on this one, simply because to keep the cost as low as I possibly can on the pump, that particular pump won't feed 400 foot of 3/8 hose. It's impossible, it won't do it. So 1/2-inch hose is the only option. And right now the 110 volt is the only option. I am going to put a 20 volt battery powered pump like that on it, and I'm going to put it through a little bit of a paces and bring it out here and see how long I can spray. Might offer the battery powered option with this, but it would probably be come with it a minimum of one extra spare battery, because that bigger pump just takes more battery juice to run it, and then the battery don't last as long. It is what it is. This is done. I'm good to go. I'm gonna clean up, roll up, and I'll finish out the video rolling up the hose. All right, so here's your little quick hose management tip. As you can see, I had quite a bit of hose drug out, so when I reel it up, I'm not gonna reel it all up at one time. As I'm walking back, I'm stopping periodically and grabbing me another chunk of hose, pulling it back here, and now you can see I've got it a lot closer to the hose reel, so it makes it rolling up considerably easier. So when I'm rolling this up, I'm gonna come out a little bit. I wanna keep it nice and tight and neat and clean, putting a little bit of pressure here with my hand. And I'm just going to wind it in, stand to the side just a little bit. Matter of fact, let me put you behind me. I think you can see it a lot better. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I think you can see it a lot better that way. All right, so I'm gonna keep this nice and neat and clean and tight. And I'm rolling in, I'm winding in with my right hand, and I'm controlling the hose, what it's doing with my left hand. And you can hear it, listen, hear it sliding through my glove. I'm just barely putting a little bit of pressure right there. And look at this right here. Then when you get good, and you get really good at it and you become efficient, then you can really wind it in fast. And look, look, look. Every now and then you're gonna run into a little loop. That's all right, throw it out of the way. No need to complain, no need to get upset about that. It's been happening to us for 20 years, it's part of it. Keep winding it up, winding it up, winding it up. I can feel a loop coming on me. I'm just gonna knock that out of the way. Go right back to winding up. Oh, look at there, look at there. Then I'm gonna come right over here on the side, lock it in, it won't go anywhere. Done deal.